there are scientists that are studying the way to happiness. And so we're really happy today to welcome to Paparazzi a man who is also leading an association, which is the Pursuit of Happiness Association, l'Associazione Ricerca della Felicità. So this is a man, he's a professor coming from the Florida International University. Please welcome to Paparazzi, Professor Sandro Formica. Oh, there you are. Ciao, Sandro. Oh, well.
Hello. Great to meet you, Professor.
How are you?
Great, good.
Yes, please, Sandro. Come and take a seat on our couch. So, this is very hard. So, looking for happiness and trying to get to happiness, trying to reach happiness, how are we doing that?
Well, there are many ways to do it, and probably the first way is to be connected to yourself, to have self-awareness. Because if you don't, it's not gonna happen, you know? So there is this connection with yourself, and there are 9 elements of the self that start from the needs and values and talents, and we go all the way to purpose and to life planning. So that's the way to go. In fact, at Florida International University, I teach a course on self-empowerment, personal empowerment.
That's important.
That leads to happiness.
Okay, so you also measure your way to happiness, right? You were talking about indicators and
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, first of all, you have to measure it always thinking of yourself and not others, because if you compare yourself to others, you will always be discontent in a way or in another. But in Italy, what we do, we have this barometer of happiness at work, and has been going on for 5 years, actually. We started during the COVID era, and we are trying to track how people relate to work and how happy they are. We start actually with happiness in general, how we feel, and it's been a fascinating experience and journey. We have seen some changes over time. If you actually, I don't know if you know that there is an international report on happiness.
Oh, yes.
Run by the United Nations.
Yes.
And Finland always wins.
Yes, that's...
I don't know. Okay.
It's unbelievable, yes.
Actually, Italy didn't perform that well in 2025. Went down 8 points. From 33, we are 41st. Country in terms of happiness.
But is that about unemployment or being not happy with work?
There are some parameters, but it's very interesting. One of the parameters that went down is social support. Isn't that interesting that Italy, where we have support from family and friends, but for some reason Italians don't feel that socially speaking, as a country, it's supporting them. And the second challenge that we have, in fact, is living the life we want. And for some reason, Italians feel that socially or economically, the country doesn't support us fully in terms of living the life we desire.
Yes.
And as a professor, I'm really interested in data. And let's dive deeper into that. And I would like to focus on the importance of your work, your job. How is it a key factor or not? And if yes, which are the happiest workers?
Beautiful. You see, what we use, we ask Italians if their job is actually related to happiness and brings happiness. And so we ask them to rate it from 1 to 5, since you're interested in numbers. And when we subtract the 4 or 5, which means super happy and super connected, to those who scored 1 and 2, we have a net score of 31, which means that people consider their job as a very, very important tool to be happy.
Oh, yes.
Now, who is the happiest, you say? First of all, men score a little higher than women.
Ooh.
In terms of generations, we have the millennials. So we're talking about 28, 29, up to 44 years of age. They seem to be the happiest. And then, in terms of regions, for example, it's very interesting that the northeastern part of Italy, which is the most productive, by the way, is the least happy.
Oh, that's really interesting. And maybe, Professor, this has something to do with the phenomenon that we saw in the last years all around the world, like the Great Resignation, like the YOLO phenomenon, you only live once, ain't it? And so, also, when you talk about social networks, here in Italy, the community not being so strong, it reminds me that we have like social media networks that are getting our attention, but they are not the same as real life networks, right? So this doesn't make you happy, right?
Well, it triggers some chemicals of happiness, but they don't last long at all.
Yes, but a friendship makes you happy. Yes.
And actually, there is a honeymoon effect, which means we get triggered for happiness, but then the curve goes down even lower than when we start with. So, absolutely. And in fact, the Great Resignation and quiet quitting. So there is the other element, okay, I don't resign from work, but I stay and I do the minimum possible. And so these are two factors that are still very important, because especially after COVID, what happened is that workers are much more interested in meaning and purpose at work.
Yes.
They don't just go there to get money, okay, and survive, but also they want to find some significance, some meaning, some purpose. So work has to be aligned with your purpose as well.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. I think Professor has a last question.
In time, I created a formula about happiness. It works on me. I would like to ask you if it can be a general formula.
Yes.
And I have 3 factors. And one is about willingness, okay, and fatalism. Willingness, okay, and fatalism. I would say 50-50.
Okay.
And the other one is about madness and rationality. To me, it's rationality, okay. Yeah. It's 80% of rationality and 20% of madness.
Oh.
And this is 50-50.
You sure about that?
Yeah. And this one is pizza versus hamburger.
What?
And it's 100% pizza. I'm vegetarian.
Oh. So what do you think about this, Professor?
Well, that's quite interesting. But you see, he got some very important points, because you see, happiness is made of 3 things, okay?
Oh.
One is the feeling, okay? The second is the intention. So willingness is the intention to be happy. And then there is the third element, which is the meaning that we give to things when we want to be happy. Yeah. And so you need to get some madness as well, because
let's increase the madness.
Right, otherwise it will be monotonous. So
let's increase this to 40%.
Is a very important element.
And also,
happiness.
Professor, we can definitely say that pizza makes everybody happy.
Thank
you so much for joining the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Sandro Formica, thank you so much. Now, Professor, just a quick answer to the